Hey everybody, it's Lori with a voice in the dark. I do not consent. Welcome to the evolution, the revolution of humanity. What's it mean to be human? Well, we have to start with who we really are, and then we can see what it means to be human. Imagine this. You are from an extensive place, a lot of light, a lot of clouds, you know, but you're light beings, you're enormous, wonderful, expansive souls. But you can shrink down to a little bitty ball of light, and you find this planet. Now, it was a hole in space and time, and you were curious, and you started coming and playing here. And you would live as a tree for 1,000 years if you felt like it, or for 1 year, or a blade of grass, or live in the rivers or the oceans. As life started coming onto the planet, animal life, then we'd skip over to being animals. And the thing is that we kept coming here, back and forth, from heaven down here, heaven down here. And then eventually forgot to go home. And we were here a long time. And then suddenly there were beings here and people. And so heaven made an arrangement with some beings here. They don't like me using their name, but it was the Anunnaki, the powerful ones. They are the best geneticists in the known 3D universe. Anyway, they were asked to create, if they could create a physical form to house these powerful souls so that they could remember who they are and come home. And they said, okay. So the challenge was on. And anyway, they had some slaves that they'd already created, but our souls wouldn't go into those bodies. They just weren't adequate. It didn't work out good. And they finally came up with another one, and it kind of held us. Barbello came down, and she put our sparks in those bodies to get them to come to life, you know. And but for about 250,000 years, that body just didn't seem to, that form wasn't enough. And Nanan, one of the geneticists, Inky's wife, she knew that what it was going to take was some of the Anunnaki blood in our DNA to create what was going to be workable for these powerful souls. And so they did, and it did work. We started leaving nature more and more, and as more bodies were born, more and more of us would take into the physical form of the human. Now, imagine that. You're nothing but a light being, and normally you travel and you hang out and you try to be a tree for a year, 10,000 years, who knows. Time doesn't mean anything to us because we're eternal. So every moment, that's why they're talking so much about being in the now moment, because that's what our soul does. Our soul has been so misinterpreted, but I'm trying to address what it means to be human and why it's so important to cherish it and to fight for the right to fully enjoy it. As a light being, you don't feel, you don't touch, you don't see the same way. You see frequencies, you see wavelengths, you know, but you don't have anything to feel and touch and make love or anything. And being in this human form is a gift. It is a gift that we have taken for granted for so long. Oh, a handful don't, but most of us do take it for granted. at how important it is to be able to touch your children's cheek, especially the babies when they're born, and to look in your lover's eyes and know that, no words can explain that look. And to be able to kiss, and to be able to make love, procreate, to be able to touch a flower and smell it, to be able to see color, to be able to feel the water, and feel the heat from the fire, to watch animals do their thing, and insects in this. We have the greatest gift right now in this human form to grow, to become part of hopefully the galactic community someday. But for right now, we need to master the appreciation of being an enormous soul in a beautiful body that does all kinds of cool shit. We get sick, but you know what? Our bodies are made to heal. And if you would spend just enough time to let your Kundalini wake up, and wake up all the way up into your brain, you would then see the magic of your soul, the power of being a god, the power of being a powerful soul. And in time you will. And then you can be super beings, because you can do anything. But trust me, you know those moments you had when you had a brilliant idea, when you thought nothing was there, and all of a sudden you just, in a moment between not thinking, from one thought to another, you had a moment, and something popped through. So you can tap into those moments really easily. But generally, we weren't taught how to do it. And I disagree with the powers that be here that govern us. They lied to us about everything, especially religion, especially about Jesus and Mary. I'm not going to go into all that anymore. You can go find some stuff on my YouTube here. I've talked about it enough. I don't really want that to be the main subject here. But I want you to know that there is a problem with the way the powers that be want to take us into the next journey or cycle. They call them cycles, where they fuck up the whole earth and then put in a new program where they want us to start doing this instead. And actually, we have advanced enough to say no. We have advanced enough to say we do not consent. And they have to back off and reconfigure whatever it is they were wanting to do. You see, we have yet to be able to expand and understand our own spiritualness, our own spirits within these beautiful, beautiful bodies that we have. So I'm saying now that take a day to simply imagine being a light being that has come into a body, into a third-dimensional, wow, I can touch things, I can feel things, I can break things, I can yell, I can scream, I can write songs, sing, hum, I can smile or I can cry. I can love a baby when they're born and watch them grow. I can see a man work so hard and try to make his home better, make his life a little easier. And food. That's my big thing right now, because I'm retired now, and, food's a big thing. And we get to taste all these different tastes. This planet is the second biggest gift. Actually, it's probably the first gift. We're the second gift. But the thing is that this planet is so big and so healthy and so full of greatness that it can provide plenty of food for all people. For all people. There doesn't have to be people that go hungry ever. And we shouldn't have to worry about medicines and corporations being involved in our medicine and our health care at all. And corporations shouldn't be involved in our fucking food either. We used to grow it local. We used to butcher it local. We need to go back to that. We need to get centrally located with our food again. It was great, growing and becoming part of the world and, all that. But as we did that, then the corporations got greedy. They got greedy and they started deregulating first the media and then the radios. They did that so that they could change the frequency because they didn't like us becoming love like the 60s. They hated it. They're afraid of us because they don't know what we'll become. The thing is that what they don't understand is they see your niceness and kindness as weakness. And I keep trying to tell them, that's just them. That's how we are. We like to experience life in all its myriad configurations, from heaven all the way down to hell and back up. But that's the thing. They don't tell you that there is also a false matrix surrounding the divine matrix. And they call it our heaven and hell here. And that heaven is just, a few choices up. But actually, your soul is pure. They can never tamper or make a change to your soul. They suck your energy dry sometimes, but they never get to tap into that spark that makes you you. Ever. So your energy is never ending. And it's just typical source energy. It's what everything's made out of. I keep telling them, go hug a fucking tree and get away from me. It's the same loosh. All I'm doing is siphoning it through. But anyway, what you need to understand is that you are the gift. The gift is the humanity. To experience a great soul, to experience love, touching, feeling, and the heart, and expressions, the artist. And we love each other. We don't care what sex. We just love each other. So if you're attracted to the one sex, what seems opposite of what, would be, quote unquote, normal to the normal church, don't worry about that. Be proud of it. Don't flaunt it. Don't stir things up. But be you. To the best of your abilities. Be your most authentic self. Who you are right now. God doesn't see homosexuality as a sin. Outside of the fact that having anal sex for men is extremely dangerous. Without proper protections. And men don't like protection. So, that's why they get run amok with AIDS and crap. Plus, the powers that be didn't like the gay men. Somebody created AIDS. Anyway, that's another story now. I don't feel like getting into it. But what I am saying is, the choice is yours. And I'm going to leave it on the note that democracy was the first political stance that our souls got the ability to start really becoming ourselves and to experience so much more. And so being human is a gift, and the greater gift is our soul. And for our soul to have greatest expression, democracy is the only thing that will allow it. But in the United States, we have seen how turned and ugly that could get. So we have to change some of the things in the Constitution so that it can never happen again and never break our regulations again. Right now, our food isn't safe. Nothing is safe for ours right now. Nothing. And it's all to control us. Put us in 15-minute cities with real thin walls. I don't know about you, but when I make love, I like to make noise. How about you? And I don't want the neighbors hearing it all the time. I like my space. I like my privacy. I like having a choice. And they don't want to give us a choice at all. So, embrace your soul and appreciate every day the ability to touch something hot, touch something cold, touch something slimy, something soft and beautiful like a flower. To be able to hear all the animals, all the sounds, and be able to identify them. Ha! And now we're getting to a point where they're making contraptions that we can actually listen to different frequencies that the trees and the plants give off. And the only other thing I'll leave you with right now is the earth is a living entity. She is a goddess in her own right. She is golden light beings that decided to stay together in the earth. And that's where the fairies come from and everything else. Some souls chose not to get into the physical. Some souls chose to stay in the earth and work with others. So when you walk on the earth, walk lightly. Walk lightly with great appreciation and gratitude. Let the earth know you love her, and she'll give you all that love back with lots of nutrition and animals and birds. And they're all important. I heard Theo say one day that, well, nature was never mentioned in the Bible. It was in the original Bible, but it was all rewritten by Constantine, who was a closet queer and a little penis and got pissed off at a woman. That's all that was. That's what started that bullshit. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go off. But appreciate your soul and your human form and embrace it and become whatever you want to become. And listen to me. Nothing hurts you. It hurts because we feel in these bodies. But it never touches your soul. So there is no such thing as sin. When you leave here, I don't care what you've done. Don't let them talk you into all kinds of karmic cycles. Oh, you didn't do good enough with this. You need to redo this. Blah, 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 blah. Tell them, no, I'm going home. My soul's perfect. And I'm welcome home whenever I want to go. And that's all I got for you tonight. I hope it's a good one. I'll listen to it, see if it turned out okay. Talk to you later. Bye. Lori out.